A Little Girl's Faith. By Helen Roseveare, a missionary doctor from England to Zaire, Africa. One night I had worked hard to help a mother in the labor ward, but in spite of all we could do she died, leaving us with a tiny premature baby and a crying 2-year-old daughter. We would have difficulty keeping the baby alive, as we had no incubator, no electricity, and no special feeding facilities. Although we lived on the equator, nights were often chilly with treacherous drafts. One student midwife went for the box that we had for such babies and the cotton the baby would be wrapped in. Another went to stoke up the fire, and fill a hot water bottle. Soon she came back to tell me that in filling the bottle, it had burst. Rubber perishes quickly in tropical climates. And it was our last hot water bottle. It's no good crying over spilled milk. Hot water bottles don't grow on trees, and there are no drugstores down forest pathways. All right, I said, put the baby as near the fire as you safely can. Sleep between the baby and the door to keep it free from drafts. Your job is to keep the baby warm. The next afternoon, as I did most days, I went to pray with any of the orphanage children who chose to join me. I gave the youngsters various suggestions of things to pray about and told them about the tiny baby. I explained our problem about keeping the baby warm enough, mentioning the hot water bottle. The baby could so easily die if it got chills. I also told them of the 2-year-old sister, crying because her mother had died. During the prayer time, one 10-year-old girl, Ruth, prayed with the usual bluntness of our African children. Please God, she prayed, send us a water bottle. It'll be no good tomorrow, God, because the baby will be dead, so please send it this afternoon. While I gasped inwardly at the prayer, she added, by the way, and while you are at it, would you please send a dolly for the little girl, so she'll know you really love her. I was put on the spot. Could I honestly say, Amen? I just did not believe that God could do this. Oh yes, I know that He can do anything. But there are limits, aren't there? The only way God could answer this prayer would be by sending me a package from England. I had been in Africa for almost 4 years at that time, and I had never, ever received a package from home. Anyway, if anyone did send me a package, who would ever think of putting a hot water bottle in it? I lived on the equator. That afternoon, while I was teaching in the nurses' training school, a message came that there was a delivery for me at home. By the time I reached home, there was a large 22-pound package on the porch. I felt tears pricking my eyes. I could not open the parcel alone, so I sent for the orphanage children. Together we pulled off the string, carefully undoing each knot. We folded the paper, taking care not to tear it unduly. Excitement was mounting. Some 30 or 40 pairs of eyes were focused on the large cardboard box. From the top, I lifted out brightly colored, knitted jerseys. Eyes sparkled as I gave them out. Then there were the knitted bandages for the leprosy patients, and the children looked a little bored. Then came a box of mixed raisins, that would make a nice batch of buns for the weekend. Then, as I put my hand in again, I felt could it really be? I grasped it and pulled it out. Yes. A brand new, rubber hot water bottle. I cried. I had not asked God to send it, I had not truly believed that He could. Ruth was in the front row of the children. She rushed forward, crying out, if God sent the bottle, He must have sent the dolly too. Rummaging down to the bottom of the box, she pulled out the small, beautifully dressed dolly. Her eyes shined. She had never doubted. Looking up at me, she asked, can I go over with you, and give this dolly to that little girl, so she'll know that Jesus really loves her? That package I had been on its way to Africa for 5 whole months. Packed up by my former Sunday school class, whose leader had heard, and obeyed God's prompting to send a hot water bottle, even to the equator. And one of the girls had put in a dolly for an African child, 5 months before, in answer to the believing prayer of a 10-year-old to bring it that afternoon. Before they call, I will answer. Isaiah 65 verse 24. Today we see Peter, James, and John's faith strengthened by them witnessing the Transfiguration. God even spoke to them, "This is my beloved Son. Listen to him." John 20:29 Jesus said to him, "Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe." Blessed is this little girl, Ruth, who believed without seeing or hearing God. And Jesus said to him, "If you can. All things are possible to him who believes." Mark 9 verse 23. I love you, Jesus.